Thank you for doing this.
I mean, why can you do an interview when you get to smoke a cigar, huh?
What's in that cigar? Is that a normal cigar? Is that a blunt, or is that just a cigar?
No, it's a regular cigar. I'm a cigar smoker for
before even
many years, although I quit for 9 years there in the 90s.
Right.
But
well, thank you for doing this interview. I'm excited to see your show. I haven't seen, I've just seen clips of it because I guess there's nothing, at least there was nothing for me to see yet. But
did you see the first season?
I watched a lot of the first season. So is it going to be a continuation of that?
Yeah, I mean, the first season really was, this Hollywood actor comes to rural Oregon and decides to grow cannabis, which was just...
Yeah, let's talk about that. Why? Why? Because, you don't have to be doing this, although I know you're loving it, but you didn't have to do that. You were perfectly successful as an actor. You could have stayed in Hollywood, stayed in why?
Well, I'm still, listen, I'm still an actor. I mean, I'm an actor, I'm a director. I mean, I just finished a movie called Evolution with Marcia Gay Harden. So I still act.
Get to do that.
And the idea of growing Belushi, I'm still, acting, writing, directing, producing, and growing. And, I get to do a lot of things in my life, man.
Yeah. But you didn't, but being a weed entrepreneur is hard. And so had you known what you know now, would you have maybe gotten into it in this way?
Absolutely not. I got sucked into the gold rush, baby. There is no margins in this damn business, man. You got to do it because you love it. And I love it. I thought about it. And I started this acting thing because, first of all, it made me feel good for the first time in my life in high school. It helped me just feel like a better person. But I realized what my job was, what I was doing, and not only was making me feel good, but I was making people feel good. When they laugh or they feel a really truthful moment in a drama, it releases endorphins and it makes you feel good. I mean, when people would leave the theater with their wife or their partner, they would feel good. And maybe that night they had a good time together. And that's a healing thing, comedy, acting. And moving into cannabis, I realized I'm still on purpose because cannabis makes you feel good. Not just the high, but the medicine, that helps with the Alzheimer's, seizures, sleeplessness, hopelessness, pain. Now they're talking about the cannabinoids helping with COVID. It enhances the taste of food, the touch of your lover's skin. It makes you feel good. It makes you feel enlightened, lighter. It's gentle. It's generous. It's kind. Cannabis medicine is so good, people take it for the side effects.
Yeah.
I mean, so I'm on purpose. The difference is when I do movies and television, someone else is financing it. This one I'm financing.
Right. So that makes it harder. So you say it a little. Yeah. It just makes it.
Look, I had a great year last year. All right. I broke even. That's a success. I can't even say the word success story in cannabis.
That is true. I think a lot of people are they believe the green rush, mythology. And I think you talk to anybody who's in the business and they say it's the hardest thing they've ever done. And making money is not right away in the cards.
No, I mean, you break down you sell a joint. You got 6 cents for the roller, the rolling paper. You got 25 cents for the box. You got the labor that adds up to about 50, 60 cents a joint. You got the cannabis that runs into another dollar. I mean, you're at $1.70, and then you sell it for $2.50, and then they sell it for double in a store, which is $5. So 170 to 250 is 70 cents on a the pre-roll. You're not making it's not like the margins economics are tough. And then, by the way, then you got distribution fees. You got insurances. Like I said, I broke even last year. I'm really thrilled.
Well, congratulations on that. And one of the things that a lot of people struggle with cannabis that are in the business is marketing. And you had this show, you had the opportunity to have this show, Growing Belushi, the first season. I'm wondering how much you thought that helped in terms of your awareness of your product, sales. Did you guys see a direct correlation between that show and business?
Well, the first episode, we spent a lot of time about the Captain Jack strain, the smell of SNL. Mm-hmm. That landrace strain that Captain Jack got in the Kush Mountains in the early 70s and planted it from seed to flower for 40 years. He was the weed dealer at Saturday Night Live. That's how I found out about him, because Danny Aykroyd turned me onto him. Well, we did a whole episode around the Captain Jack. And in Oregon is the only place I can release it. We can't keep it in the store. It sold out immediately. So this show, of course, promotes my products. But also this season, we're growing a Grow Tech greenhouse. Jeremy and Mike at Grow Generation supplied so many things for our new greenhouses. We got Andon dehumidifiers. We got Rogue soil. We got Foch lights, LED lights, which increases the light increases 30% in these greenhouses, especially during the winter grow, and it increases 30% yield. Plus, we use advanced nutrients this year, which has increased our THC and our terpene values along with those Foch lights. We're promoting their products, but these people are on the cutting edge of cannabis, and we're showing it on the show. I'm trying to build confidence in cannabis. I'm trying to show the audience the cleanliness, the testing, the safe consumption, how to consume, where to get it, how to grow it. There's one episode in the first episode of this season where Chris and I go head to head, and we each grow 2 plants. Mm-hmm. So we go to Grow Generation, and I put together a kit, and we literally show the audience how to grow it in their garage if they wanted to.
Wow.
So I'm informing them, and I'm entertaining them. There's a great comedy and a great relationship with Chris. Got Dan Aykroyd here. We do a whole second episode with Guy Fieri.
Yeah, tell me about that. So
my God, he stops at the farm, and Chris, my cousin, who was in this, he was in a restaurant business for 35 years. He's a cook,
right?
And Guy is a friend of mine for like 10 years. And Guy was driving down from Washington to Santa Rosa with his family and friends. Like 6 buses, mm-hmm. And they were filming Triple D and also a special about his camping, and he goes, "Hey, Belushi, I want to see your farm." Hey, Guy, I'd love for you to see it. I tell Chris, and he flips out. Guy Fieri, I'm in the restaurant business. I dream of meeting him. Are you kidding me? He's coming to the farm. We have to set up a kitchen. He like flips out. So we have this little 1-table restaurant on the farm, right? It's really a barbecue shed, but we had to fill it out with equipment. Chris was out of his mind. Guy shows up, and he's like a little fanboy and showing him how to cook these Albanian dishes. And Chris is all panicked. He literally says in his show, "Look, you're an actor. You get to shine all the time. I'm a cook. I get to shine this time." So now we got this competition of like, he thinks I'm trying to squeeze into his shots. It's a very funny show.
Yeah.
And Guy is terrific. We cook a I make him a Blues Brothers ice cream that I came up with Dave and at Cloud Creamery in Massachusetts. He just released it actually a couple of weeks ago. But anyway, we cooked that with Guy. We cooked some Albanian food with Guy. And then we come to the backyard here, and Guy sets up a whole kitchen with all these people and, like, I don't know, felt like 80 cameras. And we filmed the whole episode in the backyard by the river here.
That's amazing.
It's just been it's going to be a fun season.
How much of it is really real and how much of it is scripted? I think people always want to pull the curtain back. Like, how much of it is thought out before the cameras roll and how much of it is just like, this is a slice of life of what happens to Belushi's farm? Can you even tell us?
Yeah, well, the way it works is really simple and complicated. Now, I'm an improvisational trained actor.
Right.
From the Second City. So the way we would improvise scenes, we'd take suggestions from the audience. We'd go backstage, we'd talk for maybe 5 minutes about what we could do. And then we go out and we just improvise it and it changes on the spot. But at least we have a framework. So in the first season, when we went down to Colombia, we shot for 9 days and didn't know what we were doing. We just kept walking and talking and filming. And things happened and we caught it. On the farm, we replicate things that have happened on the farm.
Mm-hmm.
And then there are scenes that just kind of happen as they're happening. But nothing is written. But there's some framework, like the idea of Chris and I literally got in a fight one day in front of a producer.
Like a fist fight?
Or just no, it's like arguing, Yeah. It's like Chris is the general manager. He's a numbers guy, right?
Right.
And I was like, growing this and, I'm talking about the nutrients. And he goes, well, if you try to, what? What the chef now is a grower? I can grow cannabis. Bullshit. Just because you're around cannabis, it doesn't mean like osmosis, you know how to grow. I can grow it. I go, okay, I'll bet you $20. We'll go head to head. Right? So my producer is going, stop talking. Let's get the cameras rolling. I like this. And so we feathered out that idea from that fight. So we recreated that fight. We went shopping for material, and then we just started going back and forth in these two tents growing. And so that story happened.
Right.
So it's all real stuff.
So the whole premise of growing season 2 is that you're scaling up, right? You started the business kind of a craft business, labor of love, passion project, and now you're actually making a real business here. Am I right? That's
well, yeah. I mean, the first season, I felt like Coppola, it's like, I love a wine. I'm going to grow some grapes, it's like, right. Let's grow 48 plants, and then Danny and Judy gave me the Blues Brothers, and we, it fit branding wise, legacy seeds of the legacy brand, mission from God, the healing that's around cannabis. And when we did that and we went to the dispensaries, it sold out. And it kept selling. And it kept selling. And the weed was great. The marketing was great. The brand we were just shocked by it. And so we ran out of inventory. And one of the reasons we ran out of inventory was because I had hoop houses that were dripping water on the plants. I had 300 pounds of mold. We couldn't get a second cycle. So we lost 700. So we lost about 1,000 pounds. And Chris said, we are in trouble. We got to deliver now. And that's when I brought Jeremy at Grow Generation in. I said, well, what do I do? And they basically said, get rid of the hoop houses, go with these Grow Tech greenhouses. So we worked hand in hand to build this new grow.
Right. And what is Grow Generation? Is a company that a consulting? Like, what is it exactly?
Grow Generation is the Ace Hardware, the Walmart of cannabis materials.
Right.
For the grower at home, for those 6 plants you can get in most of these medical states, to huge commercial grows. And Jeremy's in charge of that commercial grow. And he came and he walked through this farm, and we got that on film. And he just killed a lot of stuff. The marijuana that we were growing was excellent. It's just the inventory and the efficiencies weren't great.
So it was efficiency. It's learning how to grow more and not killing it. I know there's one scene where you kill Dan Aykroyd's plant.
Yeah, that was from the first season. He made me go to Colombia to get those seeds. And this is real, okay? These land race strains, which are strains that are pure, right? Not been hybridized. Especially the sativa, the ones we got, the Santa Marta Gold, the Punta Rojos, the Mango Biche, from Colombia. The problem is their cycle is 14 weeks, 15 weeks for them to mature. Everybody grows in the United States on 10 weeks, 8 to 12 weeks, 10-week average. So that puts us for a month, 5 weeks out of our cycle. So nobody really grows these plants because it's not efficient. But I want to grow really unique genetics and special stuff. Like our Santa Marta Gold, we just harvested, and land race, it is a 1-to-1 cannabis. You don't have to mix anything in. It's just naturally a 1-to-1 healing element. It's a medicine. Anyway, so what happens is I planted these plants outdoor when you're supposed to. And all my other outdoor plants, we harvested in the middle of October. And these Colombian plants weren't ready. So they went into November.
Oh, man.
And froze and died.
Oh, man.
And so this episode is Danny comes to see his strains, and they're dead. So it was real. It really happened. And so we just filmed the real thing and the real trials and tribulations of growing.
So this season, you've brought in some professionals that really specialize in growing marijuana at scale and really making efficient. And is that, what were the lessons that you've learned in doing that from these people, all these different people that you brought in?
I learned so much. Even the Andon dehumidifiers, the dehumidifiers we had in the greenhouses, they have to cycle down and kind of defrost and then start up again. Well, now these new Andons have a variable speed engine, rotor motor. So when the fans will go down to here, and the water will drain out, and then when it's done, it'll go back up, opposed to stopping and going. So it helps keep the consistency. Everything is about keeping the consistency of the environment. So the lighting, the faucet lights we have, we went to LED, which brings down the light. It brings down the heat, the extra heat that helps create the rise of moisture, which helps create mold. So the heat now we have a better control of. We have this total grow control brain that has sensors and it hooks up to everything. So we can keep everything consistent. We can keep the light levels at 1100 looms. So when the sun, our greenhouse, so when the sun is out, we get their natural 1100. If a cloud comes and the sun goes away, it goes down to about 800 to 750 looms. Well, this brain senses it and will bring up our interior lights to bring the looms back up to 1000. So that kind of environmental control. And then we use better soil, this rocket fuel that has a lot of little secrets in it. And then we used, Big Mike's advanced nutrients, which is in 4 different stages, which really made a difference in our THC levels and our terpene levels. I learned so much.
Yeah. Are you going to be growing the same strains, just more of them, and they'll be more available to the public, or are you doing different things now that you're a larger grow?
Well, we always had the same canopy.
Yeah.
But now we're having much more yield and less failure. So, we only grow maybe 1,600 pounds in a year. I'm still a boutique artisan grow, and we're very specific about strains. And again, keeping the soil at 64 degrees temperature in order for the micronutrients to absorb into the roots. I mean, we flush out the irrigation so the ash is white. I mean, we're very particular and very, very sticky detail wise, but we can because we only have 4 greenhouses. We don't have 100,000 square foot canopy, so we manage and can control it very well in an artisan way. So, and we serve Oregon beautifully, and they're very pleased with us, and we have a really nice relationship with not only the local community but the Oregon community in general. But it's taken 5-6 years to develop that.
Are there plans to expand outside of Oregon? I mean, for people who might not know this, in order to, at least with that, since weed is federally illegal, in order for you to sell in other states, you must grow in those states as well. So it's complicated.
That's part of the thing in the episodes this year is Chris wants to expand. And I'm like, I don't know if they can grow as particularly as we do.
Right.
And I can't put the Blues Brothers name on it or my brother's name or my name on it if it's not going to deliver the legacy of the quality that we've delivered as musicians and actors. So we are in Colorado at the Green Solution. But Chris and I went with my grower, and we met with their grower. We went through the soils. We went through their lighting regimen. We went through their pruning regimen. And they have a section at their warehouse, and it's an interior grow, where it's just a Belushi product. So they stick to kind of our standard operating procedures so we can get as close as we can to the Oregon, practices. So I have approved Colorado. So we're in Colorado. We're in Oklahoma. We just signed a deal for Pennsylvania, Michigan, Massachusetts, and we're in LOIs with New Mexico, Arizona.
No California yet.
California spooks me.
Why is that?
It's a hot mess, California.
Yeah. It's your home.
There's no money. You can't break even in California right now. There's so many brands, and I don't believe they're really brands. They're just pretty boxes. I think Blues Brothers or Cookies is a brand. It has meaning behind it, depth, metaphors. But I have entered in carefully into California with Bang Chocolate. I love Jamie and Graham at Bang Chocolate. And before I got to know them, I used to use Bang Chocolate. They used to use 2.5 milligrams of their chocolate to sleep.
Okay.
And I really like their product. We met with them. And so we made a collaboration with Bang Chocolate, and we're releasing in California this month with Blues Brothers Bang Chocolate. And we're moving into the other states that they're in.
Great. So you can collaborate with other brands, and they use your name and branding, and also your strain, right? Your specific.
Yeah, we have specific strains that we use. It's like we work with Select here in Oregon, and may go in a couple of states slowly, and they're the ones that use our Captain Jack vape pen. But again, there's a problem. So we're a small grow. We grow enough Captain Jack to kind of keep the joints alive, but then we have to give a lot to Select in order for them to make these live resin vape pens. And they make 5,000 pens, and they're gone in a month. And it's like, do you have any more? I go, well, we got to wait for this next cycle, you know?
Yeah.
So again, with delivering, you know, everybody's having an inventory problem across the United States, not us. We don't have enough.
Yeah.
So
Do you have, and this might be a sensitive topic and you don't have to talk about, but do you guys have any issues with crime? I mean, a lot of people that I talk to in the business, in the grow business, are having, you know, issues with theft and crime right now. Is that something that you guys have had to deal with at all?
not at all.
Okay.
Well, you know, maybe 5 years ago when we were doing strictly outdoor, we had somebody jump the fence and cut some big branches and take them. You know, I mean, they probably got away with about 10 pounds.
Right.
And it's like they, you know, they must have needed it or they wouldn't have done it. We don't have any trouble with crime at all. Everything's cameraed up. Everything's locked up. What we do have trouble with in Jackson County and Oregon, particularly, is the cartel influence and pretending to grow hemp and growing autoflower. And they made a bust here about a month ago, 5 miles from me. They busted 2 warehouses with 500,000 pounds of illegal weed. That's been going on in California and Oregon. They come in and they intimidate farmers and they take over their farms. They carry guns. And our governor declared a state of emergency in Jackson County to allow the state marshals to go on to farms because it's a hemp farm. It's a regular business. You can't go on without a warrant. But if there's an emergency, they can walk across the line. And they cleaned up Jackson County, and they're still cleaning it up. So that kind of crime is still going on, that illegal, you know, cartel type of action. And that hurts everybody. It hurts our industry, the recreational industry. It floods the market. And also that kind of weed, we don't know the pesticides they're using. We don't, it's never tested. We don't know anything that's in it.
Yeah.
And that hurts the consumer. So, but then there's growers in California that, you know, were promised all these things if you go legal and they can't make a living.
Right. So
these guys are artisan growers too. And some of them are like selling stuff out the back door just to stay alive.
Yeah. It's nuts. How to close here, how do you use cannabis in your own personal life? Like, I know you really consider it to be medicine. Are you able to work under the influence of cannabis? Is it something you use to chill out after work? Like how has it been effective in your life, in helping your life?
Well, as an actor, I never used at all while I was acting because I never drank and never smoked while I was doing the work, because the joy and the endorphins and the adrenaline that flow naturally as an actor is the joy of life for me. I use it. I'm a real lightweight. I mean, there's 4 strains on my farm that I won't even taste.
Oh, that's interesting.
Because, yeah. Come on, taste it. No. That's too strong for me. I mean, I took a hit. I went to a concert with a girl who I knew very well, and we each took 1 hit of the Captain Jack joint before the Grateful Dead concert. And I was in the car, and I looked at her, and I was like, who is this girl? Who am I? And I was like, I was so high.
Right. You didn't like it.
No, I didn't. So I have one called Cherry Pie, which is about a 19% THC and about a 3% terpene. And the entourage of that is so chill, man. You can talk, you can be charming. And my old lady didn't even know I took a hit. You know, I mean, I tell this story. You know, I come downstairs one night and she goes, are you hungry? I go, yeah. She goes, you want to go out? I go, yeah, sure. What do you have a taste for? I said, yeah, cheeseburgers. She goes, oh, it's a little heavy for me, Jim. I said, well, how about some sushi? I love that place in Sawtell. Oh, I had sushi with my mom last night. And I'm like, what are you asking me what I'm going to eat, what I want to eat when you know damn well we're going to where you want to go and we're going to eat what you want to eat? And she's like, whoa. So the next time I take a hit of the cherry pie, I come downstairs. She goes, are you hungry? Yeah. You want to go out? I go, sure. She goes, where would you like to go? And I said, baby, we can go to Taco Bell as long as you're sitting across from me.
That's and some good weed.
She's like, wow, aren't you charming? I go, am I? So I called Cherry Pie the marriage counselor, right?
Exactly.
And I sold out of it because I had told this story at a harvest party. Sold out of it in Oregon like that. Women were coming into these dispensaries going, where's that marriage counselor? He needs it.
Right.
So I prefer that for a chill, maybe at the end of the day, if I'm feeling a little anxious, which is in this industry, you can feel anxious. And I used a Bang chocolate and another chocolate that's glazed chocolate, high-end chocolate. We made a deal with them in Tulsa, the two Katie's. It's really good. We call it Chasing Magic. I'll take 2.5 to 5 milligrams at night to sleep.
Yeah.
And that's about my usage, with the exception of once in a while, I have to, taste some of our grow. But my nose and my tongue have really developed. I mean, I'm not Napa ready, but I really do have a palate now. So where I can just taste something and know exactly where it's going in the brain and the neck or the body.
That's great. Well, I'm so excited for your show, Growing Belushi Season 2. It's going to be on Discoveries, premieres January 19th. Jim, it's always so great to talk to you and fun, and I'm so happy you're in the industry. And thank you again. And it looks gorgeous where you are.